Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. So, finally, we got tanks in Ukraine, NATO tanks. NATO, the good countries, are bringing their tanks to fight Russia and on the territory of Ukraine. And the first tanks were delivered from the great country of Poland. Yay! So let's see how we can celebrate this, right? Because it's the 1 year anniversary of the invasion of Ukraine by the evil Russians. So this article, I have two of them actually. One comes from Bloomberg. Poland delivers 4 Leopard tanks to Kiev at 1 year mark. Yay! And the other one, Ukraine is reportedly getting its first advanced Western battle tanks on invasion's anniversary. So let's start with this one, with the week. Poland is delivering the first of 14 promised German Leopard 2 battle tanks to Ukraine on Friday, today, exactly 1 year after Russia launches full-scale invasion. All right, so the arrival of advanced Western tanks on Friday would be ahead of schedule. Good. Ukrainian tank crews, now this is important, Ukrainian tanks crews pulled from the front line started training on the Leopards in Poland on February 4 and in Germany on February 13th. So this is so we understand that it's not the Americans or the Germans or the Poles operating these tanks. No, it's the Ukrainians, you stupids. Okay, so don't get ideas. No, there's no NATO contractors or anything. No, it's the Ukrainians. That's why they said this for you, okay? Because you need to know that. Other people know other things. Poland invited reporter to watch the training. Yes, during Polish president. Yes, the Ukrainian tank commander told reporter his 105 troops at the Polish base, 21 tanks crew are learning faster than everybody else. I heard. Beyond, you have a car that drives no more than 200, let's say, kilometers per hour. Well, the Ukrainians are capable of driving a speed light somehow with the same car. Okay. That's what they tell us. The physiological barriers do not exist anymore for the ability of the Ukrainians to suck in the training. So if the brain is capable of, accumulating this kind of information and training, the Ukrainians can do that in 50 times more than we've ever heard. They're all geniuses. Yeah, you can believe that. Not you, because you're here with me. But you know who I'm talking about. All right, so my soldiers like it a lot. This machine is good quality. Of course, buy one, get one free. With additional tanks from Canada and Norway, Duda said he hopes Ukraine will get at least a full armored brigade, usually 65 tanks, in the near future. Britain is also sending and training Ukrainians to use Challenger 2 tanks, and the US has pledged 31 M1 Abrams. But no, that's not NATO. This is just Ukraine fighting evil Russians. The Abrams tanks are not expected to arrive for a while, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin told CNN on Thursday night that the mechanized infantry, the US and its NATO allies have already been sending Ukraine the training to use, plus additional artillery will give Ukraine the ability to breach Russian defenses and maneuvers, and I think that will be create a different dynamic in the war. Okay, let's see what this guy's Bloomberg. Poland delivers 4 Leopard tanks to Kiev at 1 year mark. That's 4 strikes, isn't it? If you find them, because they're invisible like HIMARS. Remember, there's no HIMARS was hit so far by the Russians. We are supposed to believe. Some of us do believe that, or some of them. I'm not including myself in that little group. Not little, actually. I think it's a majority group. Poland sent its first 4 Leopard 2A4 battle tanks to Ukraine, a symbolic gesture to mark 1 year since Russian invasion, as Western allies rushed to arm the embattled nation forces amid intensified Kremlin-ordered attacks, which are bad, and I don't know why you even bother, because you tell us with half of your mouth these guys are losers and are losing all the time, but somehow is intensified and they're doing something. I mean, are they good or bad? Now, tell us here that Prime Minister of Poland announced during a visit to Kiev on Friday that the delivery of the remaining batch of its 14 German-made combat tanks will follow soon. Poland will also send 60 modernized Soviet-era PT-91 tanks in the coming days, he added. Very good, very good. So the government of Warsaw is also ready to train. Again, we are training everybody. Pilots to fly F-16 fighter jets, but any delivery of such aircraft will be agreed among NATO allies. Yes, they will do that. That's fine. Do that. And again, Ukrainians will learn quickly. I have doubts, and I think I can have doubts. Doubting something doesn't mean you deny, because you immediately will be like, oh, you're a denier. Well, having doubts, that means you need more details and information on a subject. That's why I say, well, based on the current information, I have a hard time accepting the information the way you give it to me. I'm not denying, I'm just giving it a low rating in my acceptance of your data or your reporting, better put. So that is probabilities and possibilities. Possibility in this case is 100%. Possibility that the Ukrainians will operate the fighter jets and NATO tanks. It's a possible 100%. Is it probable? Now here is where I have questions. Probable, I would give it maybe 40%. It's probable that it will be maybe 35, 30, between 30 and 40. Why? Because I don't think the NATO leaders will allow some Ukrainians, unvetted, how you want to call them, jump on these warplanes that could be flown to Russia or somewhere else and land over there. You know what I mean? I don't think that's possible. I don't think they are so eager to allow some Ukrainians that's how they're Ukrainians. You know what I mean? Just to operate those. Those are, after all, millions of dollars equipment. And they make new ones because we're going to work hard and they're going to borrow money in our name. So we're going to pay taxes more and more for the borrowed money so we can help, blah, 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 their status and their friends. But nevertheless, that's why I said about 30, 40%, 30% that we're going to be Ukrainians operating those tanks. The challenge here is they're afraid that those pieces of equipment could be taken to Russia and the Russians will have it in their possession and look over it. You can say, well, they're already, old equipment. Well, I don't think so, because they made such a fuss about the exact thing I'm talking right now. Hey, maybe they end up in the Russians' hands and we can't allow them to know. They're going to send the Patriot system. I think one battery. Germany, I think, is going to send 2. The United States sends 1, I think. So like 3. The same way. You think that those batteries will be operated by between 80 and 100 Ukrainian crews? That's how much I heard you need for a Patriot system, about 80 people, according to some. So you train 80, which, remember, the United States came in Oklahoma about a month ago, maybe. 100 Ukrainians to be trained on to operate the Patriot systems. Do you think they're going to go over there? I mean, it's I don't know, guys. If you were put in front of a simple, let's say, software that you have to operate, and how long it took you to understand that, knowing English. Now let me say that, let's say it's in Spanish. You have a few words in Spanish, si senor and hasta la vista baby, and that's it. You have these words and you're going to operate a system in Spanish, or even worse, it's going to be in the Cyrillic language, Cyrillic writing, which is different. That's for Ukrainian using our, alphabet. So you have that, plus the language, plus the whole infrastructure and connections. It's extra training for these guys. It's like you start with a toddler, try to make him learn how to sprint, or I don't know, jump fences or something like that, versus a person who's already an adult. Oh, it's okay. It's easier an adult to train to knows already how to run, how to breathe, how to jump. A toddler doesn't. I'm not saying those are tards. I'm not saying that. There's other steps that you have to take with these guys, extra steps, in order to get them to the position of a, let's say, English-speaking American, okay, who works in the military, because the systems are different. They have to learn not only the language, the connections, and then they have to be experts on that, because they have to have, allegedly, make decisions fast when the rockets are coming or the missiles are coming and they have to hit it. They're not don't like baboons. It's not like that. It's not like in the movie Idiocracy, when the guy goes to the hospital and he said, well, I have a headache, I have this or whatever, and she's looking at pictures. I think you fit here. Bunk. I don't think it's going to be like that. For this kind of rocket, and you have a picture of a rocket, you push this button. For this rocket, you push this one. What rocket is that? Okay, I think I push this. Looks alike. Okay, we push this one, and the whole system works automatically for that one. You need to make some calculations. Your bosses across the sea will give you all the information, or from Poland, or from nearby, or in your cockpit, or wherever you are. What I'm saying is, for me, this is a face-to-face war between these two sides, and they know it, but they don't want to make it this obvious. They get it to that point where the weasels will get to accept it, but they can't just tell them, yeah, man, we fight these guys because blah, 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 blah. No, they're almost there. They're almost there. Now they try to put China, they try to make it a world war with China, South China Sea, all those maneuvers over there. The woodchuck in North Korea is agitated and is threatened by all these military maneuvers by the free world and good people. What happens in the Balkans again with Yugoslavia? What happens Serbia? What happens with Iran? Israel plans to hit nuclear sites in Iran. What is this? But you can't hit back because we are acting in a self-defense. Only you can act in self-defense. We can't. Anyway, yeah, basically. So that's how it is here. Yeah, we're the forces of good because we determined that by just said so. Because if you look at the record, the used only the past 30 years, I don't think they're the really forces of good, invading and bombarding whomever disagrees with their policies. All right, good for them. Good for them. Got the tanks, send them the airplanes, and see what's happening. Eventually, the Russians will have to snap. And say, that's it, at the end of the line right here, buddy. Let's either or, and you have 5 minutes to decide. We're sick. I hope they don't get to that point, but if I see all these guys on it, remember, this country fights, 30 countries? NATO, European Union, Australia, and other, Japan, and all these guys are all, not only militarily, economically, and financially, and all that. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart. Well, they deserve it because they're bad, okay? I have to say that so nobody has a problem with me, okay? Nobody comes and arrests me or, you know what I mean. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.